the first thing to do with this equation is look at it algebraically as if it said 2x squared minus x minus 1 equals 0. Because if you can see it that way, then you can see that it can be factored. This can be factored into a 2x times an x, and then for a 1 I would need 1 times 1. In order to get that to be negative, I should use a negative over here and a positive over there. This would be an x minus 2x is negative x. And so it can be factored, except we're not dealing with x, we're dealing with sine of 2 theta. So factor it into 2 there, and then sine of 2 theta plus 1, sine of 2 theta minus 1 equals 0. Now that it's factored and set equal to 0, set each factor equal to 0. So this one is going to be 2 sine of 2 theta plus 1 is equal to 0. Sine of 2 theta minus 1 is equal to 0. And so in here, subtract 1, it'll be negative 1, and then divide by 2. So sine of 2 theta is going to be a negative 1 divided by a 2. And with this one, it's going to be sine of 2 theta equals 1. So then if I think that I'll just use one graph. So they both say sine equals a number, so take a look at the sine graph. And then this one says, when does the sine graph equal negative 1/2? So here's negative 1/2. And then if you go over to the graph right here, just to the right of pi, is going to be one of the solutions. So that dot for pi should be right there. And then just to the right of that dot is going to be one of the solutions. And then use the graphing calculator to find sine inverse of negative 1/2. And that is pi over 6 negative. So that's saying there's a solution over here to the left. So go to the left by pi over 6 and there's going to be a solution. Or you can use that reference angle and say, well, from pi I need to move over to the right by how much? It's going to be pi over 6. And then go over to the graph right here, and then that's saying just to the left of 2 pi there's another solution. So 2 pi, go to the left by the reference angle pi over 6, and we should have those two for when does sine equal negative 1/2. For the other one, when does sine equal 1, well, that's up here, which is in pi over 2. So we've got, from the first one, 2 theta is equal to, this would be 6 pi over 6, plus another one is 7 pi over 6. This one would be 12 pi over 6 minus 1, so that's 11 pi over 6. And then from this equation, we get that 2 theta is equal to pi over 2. So we've got 3 solutions. There may be more. So take a look at the graph to find out. Here's the original problem. And then when is it equal to 0? So it crosses the x-axis, or hits the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 6 solutions. So these 3 are probably the original first 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to need to add 2 pi to all of these to get the other 3 solutions. I just want to double check that these are correct first. So if I were to divide by 2, that's going to be 7 pi over 12. So trace 7 pi over 12, is that one of the solutions? Yes. How about 11 pi over 12? That is one of the roots. And then this one would be pi over 4, which also works. Okay, so these solutions are correct. We just need to add 2 pi to all of them. So as far as 6, this would be 12 pi over 6. So if you add that, it's going to be 19. So 2 theta equals 19 pi over 6. And if you add 12 pi over 6 to that, it's going to be 23 pi over 6. And then over here, adding 2 pi is going to be, let's see, as far as halves, that's going to be 4 halves, plus one more is 5 halves. So 5 pi over 2. And then this one looks like that one, so that should be the 5 pi over 4. Excuse me, 5 pi over 4, once we divide by 2. 5 pi divided by 4. Okay. So finally, the solutions are that theta equals 7 pi over 12, 11 pi over 12, a pi over 4, to these and divide them all by 2, 19 pi over 12, 23 pi over 12, and 5 pi over 4.